Hello everyone. I'm really very thankful to you brothers and sisters who are listening to this word. Although we do not have many moments that we can meet together, share the word in the church, but really God has prepared for us this time that we can listen the word of God onto this way that God has provided unto us. Today, I want to share with us this book of Luke chapter 13 from verse 6. My name is Pastor Abby. Let's read. He spoke this parable. A certain man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard, and he came and sought fruit thereon, and found none. Then he said unto the dresser of the vineyard, Behold, these 3 years I came seeking fruit on this fig tree, and find none. Cut it down. Why covereth the ground? And he answered and said unto him, Lord, let it alone this year also, till I shall dig about it and dug it. And if it bears fruits, well, and if not, then after that thou shalt cut it down. Brothers and sisters, we are such lacking people and weak people. But when we see the word of God, there is what it tells us to do. You know, not doing the action, but it pulls us to put us in a certain position. You know, this vineyard is really weak and lacking. Is tended by the shamba boy who is taking care of this vineyard, or the vine dresser. But also, there is a certain tree that was planted inside there. That's the fig tree. When you see, the whole focus should be on the vineyard, because this is what the owner planted. But suddenly he planted there one tree of which does not pull his concern. Whether it is there, not there, it is cut. But he's supposed to do something that can pull the heart of this owner. That's to bear the fruits. But it did not bear fruit. But we want to see how it could survive. There is another parable in the book of Matthew. Also, there is one vineyard, one fig tree. This fig tree, when Jesus found, and when there is no fruit, he cast it and it dried. It only bared leaves continually, but there was no fruit. So he decided to cut it down. Brothers and sisters, when you compare these two trees, there is one tree which was cast. There is one tree which did not receive a curse. You know, important is not to bear fruits or not, or having many fruits or not, few fruits or not. There is no greater fruit, there is no lesser fruit. In the eyes of the owner, there is fruit, because he wants to eat the fruit. But now when you look at this one, why it survived? Yes, he came in verse 6. He spoke this parable. A certain man had planted a tree in his vineyard, and he came and sought fruit. What does he want? He wanted fruit, but there was nothing. Brothers and sisters, when you look at our life, even my life, I cannot say I have made many fruits of the gospel. I cannot say I have always spoken faith. I cannot say I've always had faith in my heart. Sometimes I fall into despair. Sometimes even I make the church, servants of God, very uncomfortable. But why am I in the church? You know, there is the steward that was left in my hand. This steward is able to take care of me, is able to cater for everything for me to raise in faith. But now when you see this tree, there is that shamba boy, I may say, but the vine dresser. Bible calls him the vine dresser. He was hired not to take care of this fig tree. He was hired to be a vine dresser, is to take care of the vine. Because as you know, the vine, it is really very important to be taken care of. It is not a very strong tree, whereby when the tree is the branches are flowing here and there. They sometimes go out of the garden. They sometimes fall down. So there are sometimes some useless branches come about. He needs to trim them and arrange the vineyard properly. And then also to bring the vines, and then he make the vine juice or the vine out of it, the wine out of it. But now there was that tree which was planted. And now this tree, how can it survive? Because of this vine dresser. Once we have the vine dresser, who is able to take care of our hearts, who is able to take care of our spiritual life, is really very important. Although now we are in this mood whereby we cannot meet face to face with the servant of God, but we know very well there is that servant of God whom God has allowed in this vineyard that we can be taken care. Sometimes we lose hope. Sometimes we may lose peace. Sometimes we are despaired. Sometimes we lack faith. But through the vineyard, he takes care of us, tender us, dig around us, and then we can bear the fruit. It doesn't matter what you are today, but once we surrender and belong to that vineyard dresser, then we are able to bring the fruits. It's not my making, but we have another person who is patient with us. Me, I cannot trust myself, but always the servant of God is standing there to help me. Say, if tomorrow. We are people who are living for tomorrow. By the grace of Jesus Christ, tomorrow. By the grace of this church, tomorrow. Because church has hope in us. It doesn't matter how other people may say about you, but once you belong to the church, once you belong to the servant of God, he is able to take care of you. He is able to dig around you. Like verse 7. Then he said unto the dresser, why this his vineyard, behold, these 3 years, it was too long. 3 years, I sought a fruit, I never saw it. But what did he say to him? Verse 8, as he answered to him and said unto him, Lord, let it alone this year also, till I shall dig about it, and also dung it. What does it mean to dung it? Is to put also fertilizers. Then when we listen to the word of God in the church, when the word of God comes into our heart, this is our fertilizer. Then our hearts must grow healthy, our hearts must grow strong, and then change will come to our life. I'm really very hopeful that once we have the church, once we have the servant of God, our life will be better. Our heart, our spiritual life, although we are not spiritual here, but I believe once the servant of God is there, once the church is there, really our heart will grow with faith, will be filled with faith. Even this faith which we shall deliver unto other people. Because of who? Because of the vine dresser that we have. There is nothing important as us to belong towards somebody, us to belong towards another body. It's like the child who do not have anything, who do not have something to do, but in his heart, when there is the master, this master is able to take care of us. This master is able to hinder any challenge, any trouble that will come to us. Really, I'm very thankful, I'm very hopeful that this word may come into my heart and your heart together, and then we belong under the servant of God. We belong to the church, and then the church will make us grow. And the fruits we desire, then church will have the responsibility about us. We thank you. Really, God bless you. Let's belong.